Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel here. Let me get into this topic. Today we got a pretty big game. Obviously, depends on when you see this show, but we got a pretty big game. I believe it is game 3 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, a series that I'm glued to my TV to watch, right? I just can't wait to see it, right? And I think a lot of people want to see it. Now, as y'all know, in game 1, the Lakers were able to be victorious and really surprise a lot of people by going into Golden State and winning that game. I thought they had an excellent win, and I think Anthony Davis was the catalyst for that team, although they only won that game. I believe it was by 5 points or 3 points or something like that. But he was absolutely the catalyst, scoring 30 points and getting 20 rebounds. It was insane, right? And I think this guy's still averaging 4 blocks per game in the playoffs, and arguably the best two-way player that we have going in the playoffs thus far. So that was a very impressive win. Then in game 2, the Golden State Warriors were able to make adjustments, as one would expect with playoff basketball. They made some adjustments, and they were able to get a very, very decisive win in game 2 by beating the Lakers by 30 points. And I think Klay Thompson led the way with 30 points, and I think Stephen Curry finished that game with 12 assists, right? They got a balanced attack, and they were able to get a game 2 victory. Now, before the playoffs started, I said that the two scariest players, I believe, in the Western Conference were Kawhi, who's now been injured. People get upset when we bring up Kawhi. I'm going to bring it up. Kawhi Leonard. People only got smoke for Kawhi when he's injured. When he's playing, you don't be finding these dudes, but whatever. I said the two most dangerous players in the Western Conference I thought were Kawhi Leonard and Stephen Curry, right? I said Kawhi because I've seen him play, and you saw what he was able to do when he was healthy in a game 1 against Kevin Durant and these guys. But I've seen the Clippers play the Golden State Warriors a few times this season, and I came to the conclusion that Stephen Curry may be the most dangerous basketball player in the entire NBA. He is the most nuclear guy we got going today, because the way he plays and the shots that he makes, especially those demoralizing shots that he makes, those 3-point shots that he shoots from the locker room, I don't think any other player puts that much pressure on a defense for 48 minutes. Stephen Curry is the only guy I see in the NBA that can actually cause entire defenses to shift from one side of the floor to the other. He's a constant threat with the ball, without the ball. He's always moving, and you always have to stay attached to him. And I think is one of the reasons that makes that team so hard to guard. Now, so that's what I always felt about him. Now, this morning, was kind of combing through the internet here looking for some topics, and I came across an article that highlighted a video from ESPN yesterday where I believe it is Brian Windhorst was basically explaining why the Lakers were petrified or are petrified of Stephen Curry going into this playoff. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Brian Windhorst had to say here, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Brian Windhorst had to say.
Lakers get on the plane last night to go home. They're 1-1. Yeah. LeBron only played 28 minutes. LeBron played well. They didn't exhaust themselves as much in game 2. We kind of saw this against the Grizzlies. Now, I don't want to imply that the Grizzlies are the same level of opponent as the Warriors. They win game 1. They kind of peel back in game 2. They go home, take games 3 and 4, game 5, a little bit lower energy, bring it and put it together and put them down in game 6. I don't think they can count on that, but it was not a surprise to me at all to see this type of performance from the Lakers. And also another major strategic move by the Warriors, putting Steph Curry more as a ball handler in more pick and rolls. He ends up with 12 assists, one of the highest assist games he's ever had in his career in the postseason. Lakers double team him because they're afraid of him, as they should be, and Klay has a great shooting game. Klay has not had a great shooting game for a while.
Right.
All of these things kind of go into the ebb and flow of a playoff series, and so I was 0% surprised the way this game played out, and I will be 0% surprised if the Lakers have to moderate their energy level as the series goes along.
So you heard his comments. The reason Stephen Curry was doubled all throughout the, game 1 and game 2 was because the Lakers know what everyone else knows. if you allow Stephen Curry to get going, you are going to get embarrassed. Stephen Curry is one of these guys that scores in a way that embarrasses teams and individual defenders. If this guy gets hot, there's literally nothing you can do with him. And then what starts to happen is you start having a cascading effect, because once he gets hot and you have defenses running all over the place, who's going to usually be the second man open when you're scrambling trying to catch Stephen Curry? It's going to be Klay Thompson, who most assume is the second greatest shooter in NBA history. And I think that that's the reason why the Lakers are doing their best to contain him. You see, they're putting Jared Vanderbilt on him, a much taller guy. I think that guy must be 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". Dare I say, they're putting him on Stephen Curry, and they're doubling him every single time he touches the ball. Now, to Stephen Curry's credit, he's been able to beat the Lakers at least in game 2 with the pass. And I like that he's taking what the defense is giving him and he's not forcing the issue. But then that means that you have to have a very aggressive supporting cast. And that's what you saw with Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson read what the defense was doing. He's like, I'm not waiting. I'm not going to sit up here and let y'all double Stephen Curry like this and not pay. Now, I think what the Lakers are hoping for, or at least hedging their bets on, is that I think they're saying, let's see if the other guys can beat us. Because I don't think the Lakers think that Klay Thompson can beat them for a series. They know Stephen Curry can do that for damn sure. If you don't believe me, let the Lakers give Stephen Curry single coverage and I double him and see what will happen. He will light those boys up like a Christmas tree. It would be. So I think they're banking on the fact that they don't believe that Klay Thompson can beat them for an entire series. I think Klay Thompson in game 2 had 8 3-pointers, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it was absurd, totally absurd. So I think Steve Kerr is going to go to continue with that lineup until the Lakers are able to make an adjustment, which is basically putting Draymond Green at the 5 spot. And Draymond Green is a very, very, very talented, crafty defender with quick feet, quick hands, pretty strong, and knows how to play angles very well, especially on the defensive side of the floor. And I think they're going to try to way to keep JaMychal Green within the starting lineup. At least that's what I think they should do, and force the Lakers to come up with an adjustment to solve that issue that they have on the court. But I think the one thing that's going to remain a constant is ensuring that they continue to double Stephen Curry. Because if they allow this dude to get free and get loose, they're going to have problems. And I think what's going to happen is they saw that the Golden State Warriors were able to get that, beat them by 30 points in game 2. And if they see that Klay Thompson is still hot, and you now have to send an additional guy to to Klay, you're going to be in. You just don't want that. Stephen Curry is the most dangerous player, in my personal opinion, in the Western Conference. He is the guy. He is the guy you cannot allow to get going, because if he gets going, you're going to have a serious problem on your hand. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.